Hey, guess what? So we're back, and it appears that we've got this crazy governor up in Missouri who's apparently just pencil whipped a THC ban, and it's going to threaten 9,000 retailers, across the state of Missouri. And is he going along with the nationwide clampdown or not? Or what's he doing? Is he trying to get ahead of the curve? Is he trying to get in the public eye? Whatever. He's giving his state a black eye. I know that because think about that tax money they're going to miss, and which is really not cool at all. In all honesty, man. So. It also affects, some of my customers in the wholesale, some of my buddies, from the Discord. It also, uh, when you hear their story, man, they're frightened. I mean, they're frightened, and especially in this economy, it's something to think about, man, because it's going to really change what they do, what they can afford, their kids' lives. If it's really for the kids, there should be some conversation about this. But instead, he just arbitrarily, it's done. We got to protect the kids. Yeah. He's full of crap. Okay. So let's have a look at this, man. And this comes from, again, Bazinga, right? And it was today. So Missouri Governor Mike Parson, enacts an executive order 24-10 that on August the 1st. Okay. Now, remember, this is, 2 weeks after that. But it immediately bans the sale of intoxicating hemp-derived THC products across the state. It's effective September the 1st. So we're coming up on 2 weeks, and they're going to be either SOL. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Or they're going to be suing the living hell out of him and trying to stop him from being able to do this. But it don't look good, in all honesty, man. And apparently he's targeted this hemp infused beverages uh, because they're so actively available. And I don't know, man. It looks ugly for them, really. And so the hemp industry apparently is criticizing this THC ban. The governor's decision has sparked intense backlash from local hemp businesses and owners. Industry advocates labeling it as overreach, which maybe, maybe, you know. And Josh Shears, the owner of the St. Louis-based Mighty Conco, criticized the order for its broad implications, particularly affecting the state's bars and the liquor stores, which have earned significant revenue from these hemp-infused drinks that we talked about earlier in other videos. And, man, they're really seeing a huge gain with these things, man. And he goes on to say that's a big hit to just make an executive order without any kind of voting or legislation. Well, these hemp seltzers, man, that's crazy. They are getting to be a big deal, man. So he, of course, it's for the kids. It's for the kids. Uh, at the Capitol press conference, he emphasized the need to protect the children from these products. Well, again, going back to my old argument of if we will penalize the retailer for selling it to these children, we could go a long ways, but of course they're not. And also, when the police pulls them over and their kid's got it in his hand, these seltzer drinks, hey, what's up? Why aren't we doing something about that? I mean, should we hold the police accountable for this? I mean, if you're pulling them over or you're seeing them, out in a parking lot sucking down, a hemp seltzer, and of course, the police have a tough enough job with, heroin and cocaine and all that stuff out there, man. It's a tough enough job to find these jokers. Now we're adding this to them as well. I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of another is still a crime, okay? It's still a crime, okay? And so industry representatives are arguing that the order was made without voter and legislative consultation, directly affecting thousands of Missouri businesses. Now, man, we're talking about 3 zeros, thousands. Okay. The Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services estimated that about 9,000 retailers statewide are selling these products, a stark figure that speaks, speaks to the wide-ranging impact of the new ban. In response to these regulatory pressures, industry leaders in Missouri and beyond are calling for standardized federal oversight to present to man, I can't even talk today, man. This just gets me all upset when I read this stuff. And, especially after I've gotten off the phone, and I've talked to some of my customers and they're all beat up over it. But anyway, they want them to stop this, as far as, okay, everybody. So from time to time, I get asked about, hey, man, where should I get my cases? And do you know anybody? As a matter of fact, I do. So on my last live, we talked about it. I showed you, a one page, and it gave you a Chad Wade 5 would give you 5% off. And so I've got some more examples like these and these. How about this? And don't forget the oldie but a goodie, this. And I get these from Displayarama, and I like this company a whole lot, family owned, and they got it going on. Don't forget, use the code ChadWade5 and get 5% off your total order. And I'm guessing you could use that multiple times, but order it all at once so that you can get it all at once for that 5% off. They'll even ship that all the way from Florida, Hollywood, Florida, as a matter of fact, straight to your front door of wherever you want it to go. This is a group you can depend on, and hopefully you will. So hit them up. I think it's displayarama.com, and check it out. They get my seal of approval. Them being able to just unilaterally do it and from state to state to state to state to state, and with nobody saying that they want that or don't want that, There ought to be some conversation about that, man. And if it starts someplace, it'll end someplace else. And so they're kind of right, man. They're kind of right. This executive action in Missouri is part of a broader trend as more U.S. states tighten regulation on hemp-derived THC products. States like South Dakota, Louisiana, Iowa, and Nebraska. And yes, I've got a lot of customers there in my wholesale, and man, it is really squeezing the living heck out of them. And some of these people are talking about closing. Some of them are closing. They're telling me that by this date, they're going to be out because, 60, 70, 80% of their sales is this stuff. And they're not going to be able to sell because they ain't going to be able to chop up the money with the 50 that are in their city, right? So you can kind of understand that, right? And so they're getting rid of, the Delta products, the Delta 8 THC. They're getting rid of Delta 9. They're specifically saying no more Delta 8 products, but the 9 and the THCP and the THCA, they're allowing them to do it, but they're getting rid of these things arbitrarily without any real conversation. One day it's over there, and the next thing you know, you find out that the governor has pencil whipped that and said, we ain't doing it no more. We're out. We got to protect the kids. Come on, man. You ain't protecting the kids. Protect the kids, man. Start laying it down on the retailer, okay? With Congress set to deliberate the amendments to the next farm bill, stakeholders across both the hemp and cannabis industry are advocating for legislative changes that would regulate rather than ban hemp-derived THC products. Well, that sounds like a good idea to me. I understand, more government. We need them to step in and stop this type of thing. Well, kind of a states' rights issue in a way, man. And so I see where the governor's coming from, but I think he ought to maybe had spoke to some people about it. Maybe, talk to some people, get a round table going. Hey, let's discuss this and let's figure out how we can work together on this deal rather than him just going, nope, I'm doing it. That's the end of it. That ain't cool, man. That's not cool. And you all know it, man. But, it's do your own research, man. This is the article. I will leave, of course, a link down in the description. Brandon put it down there. And, tell me what you guys are thinking. I know it ain't pretty, man. It is not pretty at all. And, the more I think about it, the worse it gets, in all honesty. Here's what some people are talking about here. They've made some comments. And Mike here is talking about, I thought you had to be 21 to buy the product. Ohio governor has the same issue as Mike Parson, but you have to be 21 in Ohio. You do there too. But now you don't, because it's September the 1st. You're out. Not really sure where the governor is going with this. I understand they aren't either, Mike. TRR, people are trying to hold on to their ancient racist marijuana laws. American apothecaries used cannabis in many tinctures and remedies before the government outlawed its use in hopes to curtail Mexican immigration in the early 1900s. Well, thank you for that. Jerry Radcliffe here. I think the sale of cannabis-based products should be limited to dispensaries, but have no skin in the game because I don't live there. I do not see how products obtained in an adult-only environment could be a threat to children. Alcohol is a much more destructive drug, in my opinion. Roll. Maybe he's got a point. Maybe. Ray here is talking about this undermines everything researchers, scientists, and medical specialists have worked on for years just to make a bunch of evil evangelicals happy. Maybe. Okay. And anyway, it goes on and on and on. It looks like a lot of these people are here. It says that David here is talking about the hemp sellers should be in jail. This crap should not be available and should be illegal. Targets kids, same as tobacco companies used to. Wow. Wow, man. Golly, David. Jeez. So, okay. Okay. That's crazy. All right. So, anyway, check it out down below. Tell me what you think. And let's go from there.